Hello, everyone. Welcome to our show called Neighborhoods Up. I'm your host, Crystal Watson. The show, Neighborhoods Up, is part of Mayor Alvey's initiative to focus on resources that will help improve the quality of life for our residents. Mayor Alvey believes it is important that neighbors, churches, and the unified government all work together for the good of everyone residing in Wyandotte County. From our Neighborhoods Up, we will empower, engage, and give guidance towards building a fiscally resilient future. Coming up next, join me and my guests on Neighborhoods Up. Of what used to be the headquarters of the former Environmental Protection Agency, Region 7, also known as the EPA building. A few years ago, a then blighted downtown motel was acquired by the city and an investment was made to construct a building specifically for the EPA. The EPA and more than 400 of its employees moved to Lenexa, Kansas, and the building has been vacant since that move in 2012. Today, we are excited to have a new neighbor coming downtown to occupy this nice facility, which is the University of Kansas Health System Strawberry Hill campus. The renovation of the building has already started with plans. We're looking forward to the great opportunities the new development will bring to downtown KCK. Joining me to talk about the new Strawberry Hill campus and the health services they will be providing here is Chris Reuter, Chief Operating Officer, Kansas City Division, Lauren Lucht, the Executive Director of Mental and Behavioral Health, and Shari Riley, Director of Nursing, Behavioral Health Services, and Psychiatry. I am thrilled to have all of them here to tell us a little bit more about this new project opening soon. Thank you, Chris, Lauren, and Shari for being here today.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, I am so excited. I can't even begin to tell you. I've known about KU almost all my life because I am a dot here in Wyandotte County. And I know you don't know this, but I was born in KU. So, right, not too far from here. So it's a little special for me, and probably is for a lot of the residents here. I know this is special to you. So can you tell me this location and what does this area mean to you?
Yeah, so the University of Kansas Health System has been part of Wyandotte County for over 100 years. It is our home, and the campus at 39th and Rainbow, as most people have seen over the course of time, has continued to grow and grow. The skyline has changed. We've added the new Cambridge Tower in the last couple of years, and so as we've grown on that campus, we also know that we're growing across the Kansas City area and across the state of Kansas. But most importantly, our location in Wyandotte County as home has meant where do we make sure that our expansion continues to support the county and to really support our city, the state, and the nation. So for several years, we've been looking for ways to expand our campus because we're not fitting even on our main campus today.
Yes.
We knew that our mental and behavioral health patients and our inpatient units needed a new home. So we started searching several years ago for that home, and we kind of stumbled across the EPA building a couple of years ago. And from the inception of walking into the building, there was this amazing wow factor.
Yeah.
And what is behind us, this atrium full of light and the possibilities for patient care in this building became immediately evident. So as we looked at, was this even a possibility, we became more and more excited about what could happen here for patients and families to receive the care that they need and our staff to have a beautiful facility. And that is exactly what is being built today. So the renovations over the past year and a half are turning this once former EPA building that was built in 2000 into a state-of-the-art mental behavioral health care facility that will meet the needs of our patients and families today, but also well into the future.
So I've had a chance to go through the building. You're exactly right. It is completely state-of-the-art. I cannot believe how well constructed it has been. And when I come in the building, I feel safe. I feel really good. It feels so special here. Tell me more about the facility. What does this, there's so much going on here. Tell us a little bit about it.
Shari's been involved in the planning from day one and poured her heart into constructing every room to what every one of our patients needs and deserves.
It's really just treating these patients just as we would want to be treated in any of our other units at KU. Our patients suffer from a mental illness, not diabetes, but it's still an illness. And so they deserve the same amount of care and dignity and respect as any of our other patients. And really coming into this facility, how beautiful it is. I am so excited to bring our patients over here. I cannot wait till we actually have a opening day, because I know that there will be such joy on the patient's face going from our current location, which was built in 1956, somewhere about there, to this. And I just feel that it's going to be just such an environment for healing and therapeutic things for our patients.
So there'll be a huge transition. What will that look like for you? How will you handle that? And for those of our listeners who are watching this, do we have anything to worry about?
So I think there's only excitement ahead of us, nothing to worry about. The wonderful thing about the just transition of this facility is that the design has really been created by our teams of caregivers, our physicians, our nurses, our therapists. The teams have come together with the architects to design a space that, as we've described, will be wonderful for patients and families and for staff who are delivering great care in our locations today in facilities that were built many, many years ago. So what they've been able to do is to bring the contemporary models of care delivery into a space and actually to design the space to meet the needs today of patients and families. So what we know, the care being delivered today on a couple of our campuses for adult patients as it's transitioned here, nothing to worry about. There's only excitement. This facility will give us things today in terms of space for patients and for therapy and for treatment that we haven't had in the past. I would say there's no concerns that we see. Our staff is excited. We are really excited about what this space brings for us.
So when will the facility be open? Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, so we're targeting early fall for an opening date, which is only a couple of months away.
It sure is.
Actually, right through the summer, we will be putting finishing touches on the building in the month of June. We'll start moving equipment and furniture into the building in July and August. We obviously need our staff to come in and be familiar with the facility. Those things will happen over the course of the summer, and we're targeting an early fall occupancy for patients.
That is wonderful. So, Lauren, can you tell us what will the facility really be used for? How will you utilize it?
Sure. Well, the facility will be providing amazing mental health services for our patients in need, and we get a lot of those patients into our ED now. A lot of them come from Wyandotte County. They come from counties all over, and the goal, to me, this building represents hope for mental health across not just Kansas but our country. This is what all mental health facilities should look like, and we're really proud to be able to bring that here and to be able to do that within our system.
So why does the University of Kansas feel like the expansion here in our downtown area is significant?
I think this is a win-win. It may be a win-win-win. It's a win for our patients and our families, first and foremost, with what we've just described. It is a win for our health system to find such an incredible location within our county to be able to expand services and really open a whole nother campus for healthcare in Wyandotte County. And it's a win for downtown Kansas City, Kansas, because we will bring hundreds of of people working
Yeah.
down here eventually every day. And so there's a complementary part of the expansion and revitalization of this area. This building has sat vacant since 2013, and now it's going to be vibrantly occupied every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So what we want to do and have started to do is to partner with downtown Kansas City, Kansas in many ways, and with the county, say how can we make sure that what we're bringing here is complementary to everything that exists here, and we want to be part of that picture as well.
So can you speak to a little bit more about the safety? We may have some listeners that are concerned about, because this is mental health, to just erase any of those fears. I feel very comfortable and excited. And so I want those that are watching to know and hear from you directly what measures you put in place so that this is safe for the families, of course the patients, but our neighbors.
So I think there should not be a reason to be concerned about safety at all, inside the building or outside the building. We have had a security plan on our main campus that's existed for many years in relation to all patients, and it's not different for mental and behavioral health patients. And that really consists of a foundation of the University of Kansas Police Department, providing both police and security officers on our campus, on our main campus today. That will be transitioned, and the model will be the same here at the Strawberry Hill campus. And we will have 24/7 on-site coverage by our KU Police Department. So that transition is not any different from what we've had in place today on our main campus. We don't have security concerns on our main campus. We don't envision that anything would change down here. And I think it's because we understand the patient population that we are dealing with is not a patient population that brings violence or anything in any different way than the rest of our patients, honestly, on our main campus. Our plan with the Kansas University Police Department being the same model coming down, I think we anticipate absolutely a transition that's seamless and safe and secure for everyone.
That is wonderful. And there's also, Shari, tell us a little bit about this dedicated space that will be here that the world will know that no one else has but KU right now.
We have a dedicated space here that really will enable our patients that may need to be what we call involuntarily admitted. And really that is that patient that maybe does not want to be admitted because their mental illness is so bad, and their family knows that they really need the care here, but they're refusing to be admitted. And so we have to have the judge get involved so that our patients then are admitted, and we're doing it in a safe way by having this dedicated area here. And we will actually be able to hold that hearing here for our patient and their family, which really just helps our patients and families and the compassion that we have for them. I mean, nobody wants to send a patient, their mom, their grandma, their brother, their sister, and, from the hospital to a courthouse, so now we don't have to do that. And we currently are able to do that somewhat today in both of our units, but we have to do it via televideo. And for Wyandotte County, we do not do televideo. We actually work really just one-on-one with our judge. And really by having this here, our judge is so wonderful. She actually really will engage with our patients and families. She does not sit behind some courtroom area. So it's really a therapeutic environment, for even that very, very difficult and maybe somewhat traumatic event that's going on with that patient.
So, University of Kansas, you're downtown. Is this going to interfere with anything going on in the community?
We think in some very great ways.
Okay, tell me. What are the great ways?
Well, Chris has already alluded to the staffing that we'll have down here 24/7, but we will also continue to plan to grow our community partnerships. We have some amazing community partners in Wyandotte, and we are just looking forward to watching those blossom. And we have so much interest and so much connectivity already. This is the perfect location for that to grow and those partnerships to continue, and us to be able to meet the needs of those other agencies' patients as well. That we just have a shortage of behavioral health beds across the state of Kansas, and this is important to us to be able to create these beds and have this place for this dedicated service.
Well, Wyandotte County, and I know that the mayor is very excited about what you are bringing to the downtown area. It will continue to help revitalize our area. It falls directly in line with his initiative From Our Neighborhoods Up. The fact that you're so close to our neighbors is exciting, and we're looking forward to a continued partnership with the University of Kansas. Thank you again, Chris, Lauren, and Shari, for spending time with me and informing us on what's to come with the University of Kansas Health System. All right, coming up next, we're going outside to talk with Jason Norbury, the Executive Director of Downtown Shareholders. This organization is one of the area's neighborhood business revitalization groups. We want to get his perspective on some of the upcoming additions to the downtown Kansas City, Kansas area. Let's learn a little bit about neighborhood business revitalization groups. What are neighborhood business revitalization groups, or NBRs? These groups are nonprofit organizations that work within the city's geographic boundaries and provide a wide variety of services like youth programming, minor home repair, neighborhood group support, cleanups, crime prevention, and economic development. Downtown Shareholders is one of the 8 NBRs here in Wyandotte County. Let's get their perspective on all the development that is happening in downtown Kansas City, Kansas. Right now, I get to have the pleasure in speaking with the Executive Director of Downtown Shareholders, Jason Norbury. Welcome, Jason.
Thank you.
So, what is your role, or what is Downtown Shareholders' role in the community?
Downtown Shareholders really serves as the advocate or the champion of all of the businesses in the downtown core, which runs roughly from 4th Street to 18th Street and encompasses what in the zoning is called our central business district.
Oh, okay.
So we meet with the businesses, I go and talk to them, find out what issues they may be having either with the city or with their business, and we try to create an atmosphere where they can thrive and make downtown a really nice place to live and do business.
So how long has Downtown Shareholders been around?
Downtown Shareholders has been around since about 2006. There was an earlier sort of precursor to it that was called City Vision Ministries, but in 2006 the business owners down here got together and decided they wanted to put that together with the first purpose to organize a downtown improvement district to provide security and cleaning services for the downtown area.
So Jason, how long have you been our Executive Director?
I am just over a year in the role. I've been here long enough to almost know what I'm doing.
So what do you have to say about Wyandotte County?
I love Wyandotte County. This is a great community. Downtown is at a really interesting spot. It's kind of right in the center of all kinds of different neighborhoods and parts of the community. And it's a spot where I think people kind of come together, not only to come to do work, but a lot of the different cultures and the cultural history really meets up down here. And it's a fantastic community. And I have been welcomed very openly by everyone here.
Well, we've enjoyed you being here. Would you say that was one of the things that intrigued you about being a part of here and about being a part of Downtown Shareholders?
It was. This is, it's a downtown on the upswing. It's at the early part of the real big upswing that is coming, and to have an opportunity to step in and maybe tap the ship as it starts to get rolling forward a little bit is a really fun opportunity for me, and it's something I looked forward to when I asked to come on board.
So tell me, what is a typical day for you? What exactly do you do in your role?
Is this the part where I give you all the glamorous stuff or all the actual stuff I do from minute to day?
Give me the actual stuff.
The actual stuff.
With
Well,
a little bit of glamour.
A little bit of glamour. Well, we meet with, I'll walk around, I'll talk to our various business owners. We communicate a lot with the unified government to see what issues they have. We work with our security and cleaning ambassadors if there's anything coming along in that needs attention. And mostly my job is to be the go-between between our downtown business community and the unified government or anyone else that we need to talk to.
So tell me, Jason, what are some of the contributions that the Downtown Shareholders has done for this community?
The biggest one is the management of our Clean and Safe program with the Improvement District.
Oh, great.
It has now for about 10 years been on the ground. We have full-time and part-time employees that are out. You can see them in their bright yellow or bright orange vests walking around downtown picking up any trash that may be left, assisting residents, assisting our business owners, and making sure that we maintain a safe and clean downtown. It's really had an impact not only just in the way you can see it when you walk down here, but also in the way people down here feel about being downtown. They feel safer, they feel happier with this clean environment, and we're continuing to do things and add pieces to try to enhance that feeling of safety and clean as we go forward.
Well, you guys have got a big role, particularly with the new KU coming.
Yes.
So tell us how are you engaged with that?
We, as soon as the University of Kansas Medical Center said that they purchased the building and they were going to begin to rehabilitate it, a building which behind us here was sat empty for several years, and it's one of the biggest buildings in our downtown. We were so excited to have them in there. We sat down with them and called them, and they were very nice to reach out to us as well to communicate. So they've taken already an opportunity to be involved with our improvement district. As they come online here, we anticipate them getting more and more involved with with Downtown Shareholders, the board, and those activities, and really creating a center point or an anchor in our downtown that we can build on to make downtown a little bit better place, starting way out here on the east side.
And of course, we're already starting to see that happen because we've got the Merck grocery store coming.
Now you're talking something that's just, I can't help but get excited about. The grocery store is something that the community has wanted for so long. Decades of time where we haven't had a grocery store in this part of downtown or in this part of the city, and to have it right here across the street, in no small part because KU came in, but that will create an anchor, and it's going to really change the way people interact with downtown. There hasn't been, since the heyday back in the 60s and 70s, a very active retail presence down here where people are coming in and out a lot, and that activity is something that we're really excited to take and build on to really help us down here to grow to that next level.
So part of the activity has been, there have been a number of community town halls, if you will, where we've gotten some community input, right, particularly for the grocery store. So will you guys help continue that kind of movement since you are the Downtown Shareholders, you're the NBR for this area?
Sure, we have in the past and will continue again once one of our coffee shops reopens. We do weekly coffees where we communicate with our business owners and members of the community and our police officers and what have you can come together and just talk about what's on their minds and what have you. We anticipate continuing to do that. The coffee shop at the grocery store will be a nice place to host some of that.
So there will be a coffee shop in the grocery store?
I hope so. I've asked for it specifically, and they seem to think that that's one of the things they want to put in there. But are we putting them on the spot?
Yeah.
Good. I'm for it.
On the spot.
I'm for it. So we'll have those community conversations. Anytime we do anything downtown, we like to engage all of these areas. We like to engage our business owners, our building owners, the UG, our neighborhoods that surround us downtown, and get all that input into place, and it gives us better amenities when we do get stuff that comes online.
So are there any other future projects that we can look forward to?
There are a couple that we've got working. One is, and should be here within the next month or so, in April, is our mobile business incubator, which we're calling our Epic Art Shop. It'll be on 6th Street, just south of Barnett. It's a converted shipping container that we've converted into a little bit of retail space that'll be for artists and small business owners that are just getting started, that may be ready to take that first step into having a retail space. We have a program that we're working with them. We're going to help give them, make sure they have business training and all the educational pieces, but also an opportunity to just try it out in a really interesting neighborhood that's growing very rapidly.
So you said that there's going to be art, there's going to be businesses, and we should be able to see this maybe in around May?
Well, it should be on the ground in the month of April, and we're going to spin up our program and hopefully get our first applicant, our first business in there in the May-June timeframe if all goes well.
So what are some things that the community could get more engaged with, or is there anything that could support downtown shareholders from a resident perspective?
Well, I mean, I think the first step is just to come down and see what we have to offer. We have lots and lots of really great restaurants. We've got a number of services. There's a dentist office that's expanding. We've got tailors, banks, all kinds of good services. As you get farther, we have a lot of really good little thrift shops, some local grocers, some smaller grocers, of ethnic groceries and those sorts of things. We've got all kinds of really cool stuff right here. You don't have to leave the area to experience a lot of really interesting pieces of the culture that we have in Wyandotte County.
So how can other businesses get involved? I'm sure there are maybe a few along downtown that may not be members or be associated with Downtown Shareholders. So how can they get engaged?
Well, the easiest way is, of course, give us a call at 913-371-0705 or an email. Mine is director@downtownkck.org. But come to one of our meetings, come to one of our Tuesday coffees. We do regular quarterly meetings, other events out in the public. Come, see what we do, talk to us, find out what's on your mind. We want to find that out as much as what's on ours. And then you can get involved as much or as little as you would like.
And you mentioned meetings. Those meetings are monthly or are they quarterly?
We have board meetings every month.
Okay.
On the fourth Tuesday of every month here at the BPU, and then we'll have quarterly meetings a couple of times a year, depending on the weather and what activities we have planned for that time.
All right. So you've been here a minute. You've gotten to know the community. Tell me, how do you see the future of Wyandotte County? How do you see the future of downtown?
Downtown, I think, and I mentioned this a little bit ago, is a really good center spot for all the different cultural and historic pieces we have in downtown. We have Strawberry Hill, this traditional Eastern European immigrant community. We have the Northeast, a historic African American community. We have this wonderful influx of Hispanic and Latinx immigrants and people coming in, other refugee populations, and they can all come and be down here. And we want to be that center point for all of those kinds of activities. And that's, I think, and it's something that only Wyandotte County and Kansas City, Kansas has to offer almost anywhere in the country.
You're right.
And it's a great opportunity for us to bring all of those together, and everybody can just sample like a little bit of everybody's culture and get a great piece. And that's what makes this downtown, I think, unique, not only in the area, but in almost anywhere you can find.
Well, you are definitely making your own individual contributions, and we greatly appreciate that. Jason and I are down here at the downtown area of Wyandotte County in Kansas City, Kansas. We're enjoying the sun, and we're looking forward to all the great things that are going to be happening here, right here, downtown KCK. We are now going to hear a word from the mayor as we wrap up the show. But before we do, Jason, thanks so much again for being on Neighborhoods Up.
You are welcome. My pleasure.
Hello, I'm Mayor Albee. The new University of Kansas Health System Strawberry Hill campus is one more sign of the continued growth in Kansas City, Kansas. Here in the heart of downtown, just a short walk from Turtle Hill and Strawberry Hill, KU Health will provide, in the south side of this building, needed inpatient care to those who suffer from mental illness. And on the north side, will eventually relocate administrative offices that serve all parts of their health system. We anticipate about 450 new jobs in our downtown. That is, 450 new persons who will help activate our downtown businesses. We are also working to bring in new housing to our downtown neighborhoods. And that, of course, means new residents and, in time, even more business opportunities. This is real growth. It is incremental. It is often small scale, but it is sustainable. There are other opportunities all across the neighborhoods of our community, and we need to be alert to these kinds of signals so that we can encourage and accelerate these investments. We need to keep the long-term vision in mind to sustain neighborhood-centered engines of growth that can improve the quality of life of all residences and businesses in Kansas City, Kansas and Wyandotte County. Thank you. I'm Mayor Alvey with the final word.
We've been here live, right here on Minnesota Avenue. Thank you for watching Neighborhoods Up. Our next show will feature an inside look at some of the history of Quindaro, and then a final word from Mayor David Alvey. That's all coming up on Neighborhoods Up. See you next time.